second there. Okay, now, well, we was live, but now you guys hear me. Pro Se Lawsuit Center. Welcome to the show tonight, and we're going to talk about the credit card package. It's on sale right now, but I'm having a computer situation with that, and I can't pull it up. But I made the changes to it already. I'm going to post it in the link here. Let's see if that whole thing comes through. Yep. Before I marked it down. Then I don't know what happened. It says I went to it too many times and I can't see it. I think it's up and running. So the credit card lawsuit package is been upgraded and marked down. Oh, where are you gonna get that kind of firepower? Upgraded and marked down. And there was a few people that I promised a credit card package to that did a couple of things in the last couple of streams back or whatever. You guys send me a new video. I wasn't able to send it. It got infected. Well, no, easy. When you guys, if you invest in the program and you have trouble receiving your document or something, and I have to send it to you manually, so to speak, to your email address or my email address, okay? Well, you should actually do this all the time. You should always copy and paste it into your own Word and save that original file clean. You should always do that, even if I don't send it to you from, that way you have the original files clean, and if you decide to help somebody else, you can whip that out and whatever, and they don't have to know that you've been through this. They just tell you've been coaching. So there was a holdup on getting it out to everybody because that file requires, well, it doesn't require there's any coaching necessary. I'm going to make a little. Now, this package was fired before I updated it with some of the new stuff that we're using, the emergency constitutional situation thingy going on right there. We're going to put it in right here. Yeah, I did not realize you could put that much of words in there. It's been reduced down. I'm just gonna let you guys check that out for a minute. What's up, C. Frederick? Yeah, I was going to show it, the credit card package tonight and the new product page and everything, but I don't know. It said I went to it too many times, and I needed to do some of my cookies, and I didn't have time to figure that out. Okay, but we are going somewhere tonight, I think, or that's the plan anyway. We're going somewhere tonight. Welcome to the show, and I'm glad you could make it. So the credit card package, and it's kind of funny how it goes because it's always been the least expensive, I think, so to speak, because, well, for a couple of reasons. Number one, people ain't got, you don't have, $1,000 to put into this credit card situation, because most people just deal with that shit until they get to taking your money out of your bank account and shit, or garnishing your wages, which is actually, that's even worse. Well, either one of them is a situation. And so, and with the real-time feedback from the people that have been representing us or whatever for the period of time, we got this thing wrapped up to, if there's no arguing. And the reason is, try to keep it simple. When arguing starts, when it ends, then the attorney's buddy, the judge, gets to help, somebody. I'm not trying to sway anybody's judgment over here, but, when the arguing's over, the judge gets to make the decision, the one that operates in administrative court from the rules that they made up at each location. The local rules. Okay, but this credit card thing is a situation, and it's pretty easy to get rid of. It's way easier to get rid of than the foreclosure stuff, whatever. And you know what? In my opinion, and I'm just gonna go here, YouTube, because this is my opinion, it's a lot easier challenging or whatever you have to do to it. Okay. Sometimes they have, YouTube have a hard time with the words I use, because I see the beginning and I see the end. In the beginning, we're challenging, the end, we're shutting it down. And then we just have to figure out what the hell we need to do in the middle. That's, but not everybody rolls like that, but I'm fine. with challenging the third-party debt collection situation. You know what? I think what I'm going to do, I can't. It's a lot easier. Okay, let's see if we can do this. Do it this way. Okay, so we had another game plan, but you know how it goes. It wasn't working out. I couldn't show from the website. So what I'm going to do is see if I can do this. Yeah. Okay, so I think I'm sharing right now the credit card lawsuit. I'm not sure if you guys can see that. I'm not that good at this part of this situation. I'm thinking you probably can only see. Okay, so this has 3 documents in it. This is the actual credit card offense lawsuit document. And then it comes with a demand to dismiss if there's something already filed. And it also has a counterclaim. I need to do a little work with switching that around. It shows the thing, but when you click on it, it opens up something else, then you're off over there in another place. And I've done that a couple of times, didn't work out that good. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tell you guys about it. So, and this lawsuit, I upgraded it, and you can. I got it at $10 million. Well, I'm just going to talk from the counterclaim. Okay, because the way we do things now, until someone can tell somebody anything different, going in with the counterclaim or any time after the gate, because when you go in with the fraudulent concealment, you can use the counterclaim anytime. Don't let them bluff. You tell them Coach Neighbor said, oh, hell no. With fraudulent concealment, you can use the counterclaim or do anything anytime, because fraudulent concealment is a legal doctrine that tolls the statute of limitations. Oh, that opens the door. And not only that, there's one other thing that I learned too last night while I was studying that's been total BS. I gotta be lying because my grandkids give me a hard time because sometimes when I start counting, I got the wrong finger up and stuff, But there's one other thing. You know what? For all this time, people have been getting their stuff dismissed because they failed to state a claim. Okay, failed to state a claim. If your stuff got dismissed by a magistrate judge because you failed to state a claim, that is it $75 or $50? I think it's, I don't know, one of those $2 packages for the magistrate judge on the website has what you need to address. Failure to state a claim. Oh, wait. That's bar member B. I learned that yesterday after. Bar members B, you don't have to connect all of that shit to each of these. Oh, thinking about it from that perspective, I wonder with the fraud thing. Because the fraud thing, they got the same way. In order to state a claim of fraud, you got to do all of this. Oh, running without limitations. I wonder if this fraud thing is the same way. Well, we passed the fraud anyway because we on the RICO. But you know what? It just failure to state a claim. If you got kicked out of court and you lost because of that, you should get that $50 pass. I think $75. I think it's $2 million, right? It's starting to have more and more value, all right? Around here, we sell the sizzle. Not the steak. Steaks burn selling the sizzle. I can't wait to research that. But anyway, let's stay focused. When you bring your fraudulent concealment to the table, everything else is told because of statute of limitations. So we're coming to the table with our $10 million claim for a violation of the Fair Debt Collection Act practice at 1692. Now, I don't use their stuff but this is an act, so that makes it a federal law. Breach of contract, that's the next check down to the simple. Fraudulent misrepresentation. And so was there a contract? Just kidding, All right, but you know what? We start out under Haynes versus Kearns. The pro se litigants are to be held at a lesser standard and we just throw that in there because we like to do some punching, okay? So the factual allegations, the contracts relying on personal trust, confidence, or credit, they may not be assigned for collection without consent without the plaintiff's consent and an assignment of the alleged debt. Oh, you have to consent? Oh, how could they pass that? Oh, this isn't the factual allegations. This is the factual allegations section. Okay. The defendants violated Fair Debt Collection Act practice, whatever, attempting to collect a debt without a valid contract. So if they're collecting a debt without a valid contract, is that breach of contract? Oh, wait, it had to be a contract. Well, there wasn't a contract, but they're still collecting with it. Okay, I don't know. A breach of contract. Wait, chain of title? They don't have proof of the chain of title. Or wait, let me see. There's proof of ownership. They have to provide all of that. Okay, so the alleged application was altered and missing essential disclosures. Alleged application for the credit card, it was missing, and the original creditor has no claim, and the attorneys are suing without standing. They're suing without standing. They're trying to sue now that you got this, that you about to get this shit for $50. They're trying to sue without standing. Okay, so the affidavits that they file are defective, sworn only to belief, not personal knowledge. Is there a difference? That's 4 more videos. Stay focused, coach. Okay, so the junk debt was bought for pennies on the dollar and resold to the attorneys who lack authority or a license. Don't even get me started. The attorneys lack authority or a license. Okay, that's we ain't even okay. The debt collectors cannot show the original signed contract, complete chain of assignments, or any business records that would show that, they had a contract with anybody. The alleged account details are missing, making their debt collection BS unenforceable. Okay, so if they're going to come after you, what? They don't have nothing. The date that how much was paid, how much was not paid, how much is owed. No, your ass didn't pay nothing. All right, sorry. Okay, additional unauthorized fees were added, constituting false representation of a debt. Okay, come on, coach, what fees? Okay, so I already know in the foreclosure, they're charging y'all asses for the foreclosure shit, and they ain't even got to it because they're trying to chase you off the property with a bunch of bullshit and people come and all that. So yeah, that's my opinion. You too. Add these extra. And the plaintiffs were harmed by the credit score, employment, housing, income, emotional well-being. Oh, wait, you're trying to get a house. You want to move to the nicest place so your kids can have, oh, wait, but maybe you can't move to where you want to because these attorneys started collecting debts that did a charge off. YouTube, this is right. They did a damn charge off. Okay, corporate businesses, when the debt's not collectible in a certain amount of time, they do a charge off. And I call it like a check down. The check down charge off. Okay, so first of all, the credit card application, in my opinion, YouTube, was done the same way as the mortgage and the deed. Once you signed it, it was altered after your ass left the table or mailed it into them or however that shit took place for the credit card stuff. Okay. And then it was processed through the Federal Reserve for electronic credits. Now, I've been doing this for a long time and it's illegal to loan credit. I mean, I don't know. I'm not that smart, but that's what I learned. And I learned that shit because they try to charge my family with money laundering and wire fraud and interstate transportation and all that shit years ago back when it was going after my ex. And I'm not that smart. But you know what? For all of that shit to be going down, there's gotta be money. I told them. I called the FBI. I called Rob Schaefer over in Missouri. And I tell them, y'all find the money and we'll split that shit. But they ruin your credit, they jam the whole system structured to jam you up and make your ass have to be at work. So you'll take the check down, but you ain't got to do that no more. Okay, the first cause of action is a violation of Fair Debt Collection Act practice. You're the plaintiff is your consumer, and the alleged debt meets the definition of the FDCPA. The defendants committed they prohibited acts And they included false representation, the amount of the legal status of the alleged debt they're attempting to collect without legal authority. That's the word. I'm not done. Additional unauthorized fees, failing to provide validation, and using defective affidavits. Okay, y'all need to just read that when you not just count one and breach the contract. Okay. No contract existed between the plaintiff and the defendants. No contract existed between them. Now, the defendants cannot produce a signed original contract proof of assignment. They can't prove assignment that these people hired them to collect for them. Any attempt to collect is unlawful and a breach of the alleged contractual framework. It don't have to be, okay? Not in my head where we roll without limitations. Okay, that's kind of where I'm at. Okay, count 3, fraudulent misrepresentation and concealment. Now, we could have stretched that out, but it's kind of stretched out already because, so fraudulent misrepresentation and concealment. Defendants were concealed that no original creditor had an interest, and the defendants used forged or altered applications and affidavits to deceive the plaintiff and the court. I see the court, all right, but just we need somebody to step up here, okay? And you going out to the court too. So but we just want to throw this in for the words to me. I mean, you can leave the court out if you want to. I like to throw it on there because it sounds good. The court don't know. Okay, count 4, infliction of emotional stress. Oh, the defendant's illegal actions cause severe anxiety, loss of sleep, health deterioration, and we could go on even longer with that, right? And then you get served, and all these people, and then your shit goes on internet, and everybody, your neighbors can loss of income, loss of business opportunities to move into the neighborhood you want to move into, because your credit score took a dive because of all these lies. Oh, how that connects together. Okay, you lost the business opportunities? Well, baby, you couldn't get that you needed because your credit score, credit, peace of mind, due process. So we're just gonna $50 this lawsuit package right now for this weekend. Is $50. But you know what? I need 2 video reviews. Second video review of how they react when you go to punch them in the face with this. Okay, that's how long they gonna stand in the back room and talk about are they gonna pick at it and try to see what I'm saying? Yeah. Those are the 2 things. Now, in the credit card, a lot of times people are forced to sign a non-disclosure statement in the end. I need my 2 reviews before the end because I don't run attorney stuff where no. This is educational and punctual. Not punctual, punctual. Okay, on that last one, to bring in underneath the affliction of emotional distress and play a little punctual. Yeah, okay. Give me a couple more. So the plaintiff requests compensatory and punitive damages exceeding $10 million for the legal expenses, mental anguish, loss of income, damage to credit score, embarrassment, humiliation, and emotional suffering, period. Okay, sorry. The plaintiff requests punitive damages and sufficient to deter future misconduct. And then we go into the relief requested jointly and severely and awarded compensatory damages, punitive damages, consequential damages, including credit harm and emotional distress, pre-judgment and post-judgment interest, attorney fees and legal costs where permitted by coach neighbors. Yeah, okay, sorry. And any other relief deemed just and proper. And we're going in for a settlement conference. Okay. We're demanding settlement conference. I put on there settlement conference. She looked at me like, okay, look, you know what? I can do a check down slash and right in here. Everybody's happy because if I can't figure out a way to make me happy, before I leave. I'll try to make you happy. And then we're going to have a situation later. Settlement conference. Okay, so yeah, that was just the first document in the package. So there's like 3. And it doesn't require too much work on that. So I know everybody around Kansas City is probably at the watching the Chiefs get beat up, or at least the last I saw they were getting beat up. So, okay, thank you guys for the value sharing your time. I'm gonna get out here and get a few more things done and go find something to snack on.